Yes, it is clear. It is very serious for Peter Mandelson, obviously, but also for the British government. Peter Mandelson is out. He has been sacked by the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and this is days before the state visit of President Trump next week. So Peter Mandelson out as UK ambassador, clearly deemed to be far too embarrassing and wrong to be standing either by President Trump physically and the King and Queen next week. Now, it was known indeed that Peter Mandelson had a friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, and very many questions are being asked. Now, a letter states, quote, in light of the additional information in emails written by Peter Mandelson, the Prime Minister has asked the Foreign Secretary to withdraw him as ambassador. And I'm still quoting, the emails show that the depth and extent of Peter Mandelson's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is materially different, that is an important word, materially different from that known at the time of his appointment. And then it goes on to say, in particular, Peter Mandelson's suggestion that Jeffrey Epstein's first conviction was wrongful and should be challenged is new information. In light of that, and mindful of the victims of Epstein's crimes, he has been withdrawn as ambassador with immediate effect. So this has very serious questions now. What will be the full extent of this sacking of Peter Mandelson, for example, let alone on the Trump visit next week? The US, the biggest and strongest partnership for the UK, that special relationship between London and Washington.
Right. It's a big mess for Prime Minister Keir Starmer in particular, because now there's serious questions arising about Starmer's decision to appoint Mandelson in the first place.
Indeed. There were criticisms before, there were big questions before, there were recommendations not to appoint him. He was not, in that sense, a traditional diplomat. Let's point out that in his career, he had been sacked twice before from previous Labour governments when he was minister. What has been unearthed by both the newspaper The Sun and Bloomberg and those publications that we were referring to by US lawmakers in the last few days clearly made his position untenable. But there are serious questions for the judgment being asked for the judgment of the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Let's remember that that same Prime Minister lost his deputy leader, Deputy Prime Minister and Deputy Leader of the Labour Party only last Friday. A week is clearly a very long time in politics. The Leader of the Opposition, Kemi Badenoch, has wasted no time in saying that his indecisiveness on behalf of Starmer that Mr. Mandelson was not sacked before. Praise is being heaped on Peter Mandelson for his ability to get very close, which was his mission to the White House. But let's remember that a certain President Trump has been doing everything he can to distance himself from the Epstein files. And of course, this brings it all back, not just headlines over here, but clearly there will be a contagious effect on the other side of the Atlantic, on the other side of the pond, as we call it. So clearly very serious questions for Keir Starmer being asked already in Parliament, where certain MPs are asking him, including some in the Labour Party, for Keir Starmer to come to the House of Commons and reveal the extent of what he knew and when about the now sacked Peter Mandelson, UK former ambassador to the United States.